Hey, I am going to buy some pizza. I'm on a way on Montevideo night. It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. Why? Can, oh my god. Okay, I will put you as a co-host. Uh, okay, so because I'm driving, so you can accept people that force me to speak.
Thank you. You, I assume you're driving safely, and I thank you for that as well. But I
Well,
didn't actually get to ask you earlier. Did you want to hear my Axl Rose impression?
oh my god, Life City where the green, where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home?
Take me home. You're
Have a
very,
question.
very quiet, Alberto.
Should I stop with the red light? Because I don't know.
Yes, you should always stop for a red light.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't know what I will do without you. Can you please force the other person to speak?
I'm not sure I can do that, but I'll do my best.
Yes, I trust you. In you, I believe. I believe in you.
Oh, thank you. I believe in you too.
I believe in James.
Okay, I need to do some.
Oh fuck! I drive too fast. I shouldn't drive at 100 kilometers per hour in the city. Should I?
Look, you just concentrate on doing what you're doing as safely as you can.
Yes, because if something happens to me, I don't know what you will do without me.
You know
Okay.
what? I don't either. I
Well, I
still.
mean, I simply resist all that you really can't live without me, but you have to assume it. You will never have me, so I'm so sorry. You can have B.O.B.
Well, thank you.
Well, no problem.
Should I be tweeting the space and getting people in
Yes,
here?
because I really need people to be part of this party. They will think I'm crazy to celebrate, but that's fine.
Whoops! I already said that. What did I always? What? Sorry, I'm not used to this kind of thing. But you gave me some good advice earlier.
¿Tenés cigarrillos? iPhone, ¿tenés? Dame chico.
It keeps telling me I've already like tweeted the space.
¿Por ahí?
And hello to the listeners.
Ah, ¿cuánto vale? 125 más. Ah, está bien, problema. 125 el chiquito. No pasa nada. Pará, y sin tarjeta, ¿cuánto me sale?
What have you got on in the background, Alberto? I may never know. Hello, Boston. How are you doing? I'll assume the answer is fantastic. Boo, I was enjoying that.
Okay, I have my pizza. Hello, Boston.
Hi, Alberto. Good morning. Hi, Kay. Good morning.
Almost 4 a.m. Fuck. It's all because of Kay, and I'm very worried about Bobby. I mean, Shane.
You've been shamed.
Sorry?
Did you just say that you've been shamed?
No, I'm very worried about Bob. I mean, the Shane. Sorry, James. His name is James, right? Same, you call him James, right? His name is James. I mean, Bobby. The love,
No, he's
the
Mr. James.
the love of the love of your life. Yeah.
I think you're getting a little bit ahead of
Oh,
yourself.
I confused with another person. I'm so sorry. Oh, my English is really very bad. Uh,
Yes, of course it
no,
is.
he's the love of my life.
Yes. And that's okay because you've known him for a little while, haven't you?
Yes.
Wait, has anyone heard from him? I
Um,
tried to reach out to him via DM. No reply. That's Bob. I tried to reach out to him.
Are you worried?
Me? No, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I mean, yes, I'm worried.
Is there anything I can do?
Yes, you can try messaging him because you probably worried, not me. So, ouch. I feel
I just assume when I don't hear from people that I've said something to upset them, and I never know what it's likely to be because I just say a lot of stuff.
no. I talk more than you.
Is it a competition?
No, I mean it's not to. I mean we don't have to try to show who has the largest dick. It's not a competition.
Oh, well, if it's not a willy waving competition, that probably benefits me slightly.
Why? I mean I really have a very short dick. You probably will win.
I'm not sure that there's a way I can take that as a compliment, I'm afraid.
Well, actually, it's not a compliment. It's a fact. Oh my god, I can't believe what I'm saying. You really make me talk about things that, okay, I cannot set a hotspot with my fucking iPhone. That really pisses me off. Oh my fucking god.
But why not, though? You can do that sort of thing. If
No,
I couldn't set up
my,
a
my
hotspot with my
provider.
fucking iPhone, that would be like par for the course. What
No,
do you
but
suspect the problem is?
my provider.
Always the provider.
Always a provider. I mean, always Bob. No, the fault is always Bob. Remember that Bob is guilty of any problem that.
No, I don't go for this blame game thing. I don't think it's fair to just always be blaming anyone for anything, but Bob seems to be a lot more what's the word I'm looking for? Friendly and accommodating than I think I could be.
I don't know. What do you think, Boston?
Me, Alberto?
Yeah, no, the other Boston. Yeah, you.
You guys are talking about Bob, right?
Sorry? Yeah, oh, B.O.B. Yeah, that one. I mean, we don't know his name because Kay and I we talk. We don't mention B.O.B. Yeah,
I'm only saying nice things, so it's not as if I'm saying anything behind anyone's back.
ah, well, me too, me too.
I'm, I'm sure you're
Obviously,
saying
you
nice
two.
things. Bob is a good guy. I hope he's okay wherever he is. I tried to reach out to him via DM, but no response yet. I thought anybody might have heard from him.
Rest
Right,
in peace, Rafa.
it's Monday morning here, and
Who is here?
Bob messaged me on Saturday, but
Oh,
I didn't notice until yesterday. It's 3. Yeah,
me.
I can see something, but these pictures are very, very tiny on my phone,
Oh,
which was like the biggest phone I was aware of in the iPhone things. But is it like it looks like cake? You would not have Oh no, it's pizza. You were talking about pizza, weren't you? Were
yeah,
you?
that's right. I mean,
Oh, now
I
I'm
don't.
hungry for pizza, and it's all your fault.
Yeah. Oh, oh, now it's me who's guilty. Come on, don't do that. I mean, I'm a good guy. I'm guilty. My crime is that of curiosity, right, Boston?
Curiosity isn't a crime.
Yes, it is. Come on.
What are
You
you curious of?
no curiosity in general. You haven't seen the Hackers Manifesto, I see. My crime is that of curiosity. My crime is that of outsmarting you. A crime you will never forgive me for. Um, and you can stop and silence one of us, but you can never stop all of us. That's a portion.
You can cut all the flowers, but you can't stop the spring.
There are many people that are doing things like I hypothetically do, but you can stop me, but you can't stop all of us, hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking, I have no intentions of stopping you. Please continue.
Sorry, the woman that is down there is the woman that helped us sending the money. Oh my god, this pizza. Ah, it's so orgasmic. Oh my god, this is really good. Oh yeah.
Can you like send me a slice or something?
Yeah, but you have to pay me for the bill. You
You've
remember
yet to invoice me,
you owe me
haven't you?
£1,000. You owe me £1,000 pound.
And it's going up by the minute.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's called like abusive interest.
I haven't. I do know that your reporting of interest seems to vary quite wildly.
No, it's basically like the mob. It's basically like asking for money uh, from the mob, from the mafia, and you have to pay much more. I mean, nobody forced you to attend to my free non-medical advice help, but you choose to go. So
Yeah, I did request your advice and I am very grateful and I do eagerly await your invoice.
okay, Boston today. Dr. Alberto was helping people, not medical advice. Do you have any problem that you would like to solve? Are you willing to help you and solve you any problem without medical advice?
Um, no, I'm not sure I have anyone. None for now.
No, tell me, do you have a problem when it comes to love, to your heart? Don't you love somebody that doesn't love you back? Aren't you hurt? Are you broken hearted? Do you hate women?
I love women.
You love Alberto.
Okay, you obviously have a problem. You shouldn't love women. I mean, you don't know them. I mean, they're really
No,
evil, and you are not supposed to be next to any woman. Come on, man. Oh my God,
K,
you
are you
have a problem.
K, K, are you evil?
Really?
I'm a little bit evil.
Oh dear.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Very nice, very evil.
Mm,
And she talks a
that's a
lot.
good combination. That's a good combination. I like that one.
I stole it,
Wicked
which
game.
was very evil.
Yeah, but a wicked game to play to make me feel this way. Oh,
Well, I
Boston,
don't have.
you missed
I don't
Kate
have any. I
singing.
don't have anyone that I love.
No, you missed Kate singing earlier. Oh my God, she's
Yeah, I
really bad
missed it.
at singing.
K, did
Thank
you?
you.
Oh, you wanna go at it again?
I'm just trying
Do I
to.
want to go at it again? I thought you'd never ask.
No, no, no. I mean, stay away from me, Kate. I mean, you're already in love with me. I don't want that, please.
No, 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 no. Sorry. I can't help the way I feel.
Okay, I can tell you it's all because of the pizza. You're jealous. I can smell it. Oh my God, that woman that is crossing the street. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Wow. Oh, you can't believe the things that you see at 4 a.m. in Montevideo.
K,
I might believe if you tell me.
I don't know, but all these people doesn't they don't sleep. I mean, they spend all night on spaces. Oh my God, these people doesn't don't have a life. Come on, guys, get alive. You're always connected to spaces. Oh, you have a problem.
Yeah, I might have a problem
I'm
with
not
the
talking about
not
you. I'm talking
sleeping and
about.
the.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about all the people in Montevideo walking at night in the street.
Yeah. Do you know what that's about?
I don't know. I think they have a problem with the spaces and they only go out at night to have something to eat.
There's something in Japan called the hikikomori, and that is uh, adults who live with their parents and they only go out at night. They sort of live by avoiding daytime and all the horribleness and all the people, and they only go out at night. And
Oh,
I found that so
I
fascinating when I was younger. I thought
do
that could be
understand.
me.
I hate people. I don't. I hate people, so I really understand them.
I have a face mask that says Ich hasse Menschen on it, which is German for I hate people.
Yeah,
I don't really hate people.
I do
I
hate people.
really like people. I'm just scared that they won't like me.
No, people are evil. Stay away from people.
I don't have to try very hard to do that.
Yeah, I know you're in love with Bob.
Like I say, I think you're getting a bit ahead of everything.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a visionary. A visionary.
You know, I think you might be. The subtitles said you said, I bet you're naughty. It's like how sometimes autocorrect in the messaging seems to make very odd, quite funny suggestions.
Huh? What? Tell me everything, please.
Well, I would have to go into the messaging because the whole point about Twitter Spaces is you can't write anything. All I can get is the captions, and fortunately, that's occasionally humorous, unintentionally. Bit like me, like when I'm unintentionally.
What's funny? One day, we were using closed caption in a space about cybersecurity, and somebody took a screenshot, and basically, the, the closed caption said when Samantha spoke, "I want to fuck." Samantha was there, and she was completely, I don't know, she was feeling like furious, really upset. The closed caption said, "I want to fuck." Really, I'm not kidding.
Do you think sometimes it is saying actually what people might be subconsciously wanting to say?
No, no, I
Like,
believe that. I don't believe that. No, no, no
oh,
way.
that's a shame. I'm just, I suppose, in a way, a bit starved of gossip.
Oh, well, what are you doing here in the spaces at this time? Don't you sleep? Okay,
What am I doing?
right here, right now, in this place.
Enjoying the discourse and waiting for the bill.
Oh, just send them to Alberto Hill. That ETH.
ETH.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have to give a bit more information than that,
No,
because
no,
otherwise,
that's enough. That's my Ethereum wallet.
still, I'm going to need
Well, I think
some
Bob
more.
Bob can guide you and explain you. Yeah, James, Bob or James, he can help you.
BOB can shame me
Yes, he can.
into
He can
knowing
show
what's
you a
going
lot.
on.
Yeah, he can show you a lot. Yeah.
I'm hoping so.
Oh my
It's
god.
not much of a life if I'm not learning from people.
Oh my god. You're really perverted.
I'm sorry, but I don't think you've seen anything yet.
Oh my god. Do you want to kill me?
I don't want to kill you, but I also think that I'm a rank amateur when it comes to perversion.
Oh my god. Can you tell me more?
I cannot. I am sure I've told you before that I'm quite prudish.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh
Oh
no.
no, it's not your fault,
No, I'm
but
sorry
you should
because
really
I
talk
tried
to
to.
Bondage Bob.
No, no, it's Bob. He's not Bob.
He is and always will be Bondage Bob to me, which is why you've got to be careful what you say to me when I first meet you, because that's the sort of
Oh my.
thing that I will remember.
Oh my god. I don't remember, and I'm glad I don't record the spaces.
You're recording this face.
No, why? Oh yes, I am.
Whoops.
Yeah, because I want Bob. I mean Bob to listen to it, just to
Are
help you.
you being an instigator, Alberto, or a matchmaker?
Um, whatever you want. I mean, I can be good. I can be bad. I can be whatever you want. Depends on how much you are going to pay me.
I've told you that I will settle the bill when I receive it. Until then, you're still on the clock, I'm afraid.
You know what? I really don't like people that don't pay their bills. So
No, me neither. They're the
I'm
worst.
really disgusted and upset, and I cannot accept people that don't pay what they have to pay. That's really something that I cannot stand, and really, really upsets me. Yeah, that's right.
I understand that, and I think that's perfectly justified.
Fuck, I have to put few. Okay, fuck. Someday I will come back to my house. I hope. Okay, let's see what's on the radio at this time. You were supposed to bring people to the space.
I tried. Lord knows I did try.
A little bit longer.
Wow, why can I never find radio stations that play stuff like that?
Yeah, but okay, no way.
Hola, ¿qué tal? 500 de super.
I've embiggened that picture and it still looks like cake.
Oh, I don't.
Maybe you didn't, but now I want both cake and pizza.
Oh, you're so. Oh, you look like a woman. Nothing pleases you.
I actually find I'm very easily pleased.
That's nice.
Or am I thinking easily led? No, the captions are saying easily LED. That would be awesome. If I could
Would you
easily
want that?
LED, I would just light everywhere up.
Gracias.
How are you saying, Kay? Are you gonna sing again?
Oh my fucking god. Now I have to go home. I have to connect to spaces. And I have to put people in the space. I have to do everything basically. Thanks, Kay. You were supposed to bring 100 people in the space.
I tried. Honestly, it kept telling me I'd already done it whenever I tried to tweet everyone, letting them know how awesome this space is. But I don't have your pulling power. But that's okay. I
Oh, I
still
hate
have yet
doing the work, so I.
to host a space.
You're driving. You're driving. In order to keep the people here. Oh my god. Oh yes. Oh no. Fuck. Okay. I would send a message to Bob.
I will do that now if you are telling me to. But what should I say?
Tell Mrs. Kim, and he really look forward to him meeting you in real life. Because you're.
Alberto, Mrs. Fields. Alberto, Mississippi. Alberto, I love these
Just tell him.
captions.
Just tell him you miss him. Just tell him Kay misses him. Cause I'm sure you do miss him, right, Kay?
Of course I do. I shall tell him so. Should I tell him that we all miss him? Or
Yeah,
just
use
me?
all our names. Use say Boston, say Alberto, say Kay, say Samantha, say Zoe, Nick, everybody.
Who is Zoe? Oh, Zoe.
It is B.O.B. City
Honey,
Lover.
I told Alberto that his heart is with another. Alberto didn't believe me.
I do believe in it. Come on. I do believe you. And I believe in you.
And I'm sure it's perfectly okay that I wouldn't want to play second fiddle to anyone.
Oh my God.
So Alberto driving.
100 kilometers per hour is a lot in the
Drive safely, please.
Okay, mom. Okay, mom. Oh my fucking God. All the
Where's he going to? Is he going home?
Apparently. Uh,
What are you up to, Kay?
I'm not very good at doing well, I can't seem to think about only one thing at a time, which
Okay.
is really unfortunate because I can't do more than one thing at once. Mm,
Kiss of that. Oh, I have to go and ask Alexa my horoscope for today. Oh my God, I forgot to do it earlier. I love it. Italo music from today. We are the children. Whoa. Our children. Oh my God. Children. With the peace. No, can you please invite Samantha B? How dare you? Fuck you, everybody. She's a good girl. Sam B. Yeah, I'm inviting her. I'm inviting Jessica B, Fiona, Sarah, Anna. Oh my God, you only have female contacts. You have a problem. You are the chief. Right, you are. I don't trust.
knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Fuck, fuck, fuck.
Can you hear me?
I know.
Or have I turned my microphone off? Which would be a sensible thing to do.
Dale. Muchas gracias. Pásale. Okay, I'm about to arrive home. Home sweet home.
I've sent a message to Bob
Oh,
letting him know how appreciated and missed he is.
oh my God! And can I know where the fuck in this world Bob is? In what country? Last time I checked.
When I say I don't know a lot about him, I'm not sure I'm necessarily party to that information.
Okay, you know much. You don't know much about him, but you know all the perversions that he have. That's interesting.
Only the ones he mentioned to me the first time. Well, not to me, no, they were to me. And yeah,
Oh,
it
no.
was only because
Oh my God! They were actually not. It was about he and I. Oh my God! Those were supposed to be secrets. But you were very polite and you said, I didn't hear anything.
not one thing.
Oh my God, we have a full moon. It's amazing. It's scary Montevideo at 4, I don't know, it's almost 5 a.m. Ay, no, gracias, hasta mañana. Home sweet home.
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home. Home sweet home. I don't need to. Oh, wait. Alexa, what's the horoscope for Libra for today?
Here is the horoscope for Libra today. Prepare yourself for possible disappointments.
Oh,
Something that you've been looking forward to, such as a social event, may have to be scaled down or even canceled
No.
altogether. This may be for financial reasons,
Oh no.
perhaps because one of you can't afford to pay for what's been planned.
Oh no.
If you buy anything today,
Oh no.
it could turn out to be worth less than you thought.
Fuck. Oh, thank you. Thank you. The pizza
Harsh.
was, yeah, I pay more for the
What a
cigarette.
horoscope.
I don't know, but fuck, I mean, I didn't want to hear that. Why did you make me listen to that? You're really bad, Kay. I didn't want to...
Excuse me, you can't blame this one on me. I'm
Yes,
afraid
you can.
it's on
I
you
don't blame anyone, and you're the one
and
that
your mistress. You know who. I don't want to say her name in case I invoke my one.
It's not your fault. I mean, I'm just a child, and I didn't want to hear that. That hurts me. I mean, I will have financial problems today. Fuck.
Now do Leo.
No, I'm in the office, so I will just ask Google, okay? I won't ask Alexa. So Leo, okay? Let me ask Google. Okay, okay. Horoscope for Leo. Just a moment. Okay, I'm waiting. Okay, I can wait forever. Come on, give me an answer. Stupid machine. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. Hello. What's the name of the person that has shown up? Catherine. How are you, Catherine? Welcome to the nightclub of... Ooh, nice profile. Okay, I'm approving you as a speaker. Welcome. This is... Oh, fuck. Sorry. Okay. Horoscope for Leo, please. Ah, this is... Okay, hold on. I'm turning on the Wi-Fi. It's connecting to the network that
Try
is...
horoscope for Aquarius.
Hi, guys.
Hey
Okay, but
Alexa, horoscope
hold
for
on, I have
Aquarius.
to check the network because... Oh no, I haven't...
Hi.
What the fuck with this? Okay, hold on. Okay, this is disgusting. Okay, please. Okay, Google, please horoscope for Leo.
Hey, Boston. How you doing? Hi, guys. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. How are you?
All right. Which one would you like to try?
No, what? No. Periscope, no. Horoscope. Horoscope Leo.
Sorry,
What?
I didn't get that. Which option would you like?
Horoscope for Leo, please. Oh no, he was right. Horoscope
And you were so
Leo.
polite as well.
All right. Which one would you like to try?
This one, okay?
Boston, are you there?
Let's get Astro Sage horoscope.
I'm here, Catherine.
Here is your
Wait,
today horoscope.
because
Yes.
that doesn't mean me enter here.
It is becoming an epidemic as serious as tobacco and
Just hold
alcohol.
on, we're trying something, Alexa.
Funds recommended for long-term gains. Don't force your opinion on friends and relatives as it may not go in your interest and you can make them annoyed unnecessarily. Your courage would win the love.
Oh no.
Respond positively and quickly to new ideas in business. Will go in your favor. You need to convert them in reality by heart. Do you want horoscope for another zodiac sign?
Yeah, what's your Boston? What's your horoscope? Come on.
I don't know. I'm not sure, but somebody said it's Aquarius.
Okay, Catherine,
Yeah?
what's your horoscope sign?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Aries. Mine is Aries.
You don't have to think that much.
Here is
My
your
name
horoscope.
is Aries. Here.
Your enormous confidence and easy work schedule brings you enough time to relax today. Put
Oh,
your extra money in a safe place that will promise you returns in times to come.
oh, shut up, bitch. Okay, thank you. I was talking to you when I said bitch. I was talking.
Was that for Aquarius? Was that for
Yeah,
me,
that's
Alberto?
for you. So you have money, and I will have economical problems. And thanks. I mean, Google, you are my. Okay, no, I just came back from buying pizza, giving a ride 5 a.m. in Montevideo. and try to convince Kay that she's in love.
According to Bob, that word gets thrown around far too much, far too easily.
Okay, okay. I'm trying to convince you that you will have a relationship with POV. Fair enough.
You might need to convince him first, maybe?
How can I convince him? I mean, I mean, he has. I mean, being in love, being the one is just like being in love. Nobody can tell you that you are in love. You have to feel it, and I cannot feel love for Bob. It's only you who can tell that you are in love with him. It's only you who knows that you're actually really, really in love with him. Come on, accept it, please.
Look, you know that I'm easily
Well,
influenced.
I can easily manipulate Bob because I just have to use a couple of words and he will believe me. Bob, you are in love with Kay. Otherwise, you will have a virus in your system and you wouldn't like to have that. Oh, Alberto, don't tell me that. I have to open the router. I have to check all the rules in my firewall. Oh no, Alberto, please, please. I have so many things that I want to do, but I don't get anything done. Alberto, please. Oh, Bob, just fall in love with this woman.
Can I
Okay,
just refer back to what Boston said about his secret girlfriend? That's all.
Boston has a secret girlfriend. Oh my god. Boston, you have a secret girlfriend?
Not me, B.O.B.
Oh, B.O.B. Okay, okay. Now we are learning the code. Catherine, you don't know who B.O.B. is, right? I mean, you are not supposed to know.
B.O.B.
Yeah, B.O.B.
Uh,
There's more
sorry,
than one BOB in the
exactly.
SPACES.
I don't know which Bob you're talking about though. I know one Bob on this bird app, and
Okay,
I'm on this for him.
bingo.
We can assume it's that one just for ease of.
Yeah, we can assume, hypothetically speaking. We're not denying or confirming anything.
Okay, it's cool.
So, what time is it there, Catherine?
What?
What time is it there? What's the time?
This is 8 a.m. 8:06. I just woke up.
Okay, so you are in Europe, you are in UK.
No, no,
Greenwich.
no.
It's
I'm in
British summertime.
no, I'm in Nigeria. What about you guys?
Okay,
Was
Nigeria, that's nice. I mean, so many. You don't happen to be into NFTs, right?
what?
Okay, you are not. No, I know a lot of people in Nigeria that come here. It's really interesting.
Yeah,
But
I'm into like the whole idea of NFT. People are talking about it and
yeah,
getting more interested in it by the day. So
yeah, but I'm really surprised by. I mean, they speak English really well. And their general culture is amazing. I'm really surprised by. Uh, I mean, the education there. I think really good. I'm really surprised, and unlike my
get
country, where most of the people don't speak like me, we speak broken English hardly.
wait, hold on, Alberto. Are you saying you're surprised or you're
No,
shocked by how I
I'm surprised, yes, because here in Uruguay, very uncommon to have people that speak English so fluently as the people in Nigeria that I met here on Twitter Spaces. It's really
oh,
not common.
oh, I get that a lot because people always say Nigerians they expect Nigerians to speak like South Africa, but that's the mistake they keep making. It's
Oh
not us that's that way, it's South Africans and I guess all these other African countries. Nigerians speak very fluently. If you pay attention, well, that a lot of Nigerians very well, but people just assume that all Africans speak like South Africans, which is just like
no,
no, they're
actually, South African, they have like 20 different dialects, right? That are very, uh, they have, I mean, very different from each other. And only in Cape Town, maybe they speak English. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
No, it's not. Every African country speaks English. You should just know that every African country speaks English. It's just that some people, the kind of accent they use, the intonations for their English is kind of different. But
I
I can
thought
assure
I thought some countries spoke French, but maybe I'm
what? What do you say?
no. Maybe it's sorry if this is stupid, but I was assuming that some countries in Africa spoke French. Maybe
I'm
I
sure they absolutely do.
Yes, they do, of course. Some Africans do speak French. Me, I don't, but I know some people here that do speak French because they studied it and they can speak it. You get so it's people just keep assuming that um Nigerians especially don't know how to speak English, which is just so fucked up because they actually speak fluent English. You can me for instance, if I can speak this way, trust me, there are a ton of other people that can speak like me. So like
wow. Yeah, I was assuming too many things. I mean, thank you for telling me that. Actually, I'm
And
assuming a lot of.
may I ask what languages you do speak?
me, are you talking
Yes,
about
I don't want to be ignorant.
uh I, I speak English, but I'm from the Igbo tribe. So I speak Igbo, but I don't really speak it that well. I'm more fluent in English, but I speak Igbo a bit and I hear it too when it's being spoken to me. And
Wow.
there's several there, so like yeah.
I didn't realise that Nigeria was British summertime as well.
Sorry, I can't hear what you say.
You are on the same time as I am in Britain.
Are you serious? Wow. Wow, wow. I
Yes,
did
it's 20 minutes to 9 here.
wow. I didn't know. I had to know because most people always say like they are like 6 hours ahead of us or behind or something. Well, that's nice. That's cool. That's chill.
Thank you for telling us that. I mean, yeah, we kind of assume a lot of things, but I'm gladly. I mean, yeah, we are pretty ignorant when it comes to, especially yeah, Africa. I mean, we know nothing here. So thank you for telling us. I mean, yeah, it's something that. Thank you. Now I'm ignorant in that aspect. So thank you.
That's nice. You're welcome.
Sorry.
No, I just feel like for Africans, right? People, other countries, other people from other countries, they kind of have this perception about Africans. But
No, some-
if
we.
they come ask questions,
Go ahead. No, for example, it's very sad, but people normally associate Nigeria with a scam. I mean, that's I mean, it's very. Uh, I mean, they generalizing that some people in Nigeria is. I mean, they are known for scamming people, but generalizing that is really. I mean, it's really stupid. But unfortunately, yeah,
I did
Nigeria is scamming, which is terrible. But
hold
yeah,
on. Let me set something straight, right? Scammers are everywhere. It's
that's
not just in Nigeria.
that's
Scammers are every they're in
problem. Yeah,
every country. But there's that people kind of like angle more on Nigerians because maybe they've heard or two about Nigerians scamming fellow other country people, which is actually fair. I feel scammers are everywhere. Just that we ours became more pronounced because you guys have evidence because you have seen you've caught one or two people scamming your kind of people. You understand? So I just feel the way people always angle it at Nigerians, the Nigerians are scammers. It's just not fair. Scammers
no,
are basically
no,
everywhere.
completely with you.
It's
Yeah,
like
there are scammers everywhere in the world. But the fact that
everywhere.
Nigeria, people associated with Nigeria, it's very, yeah, it's very unfair. Completely agree with you. Yeah, I mean, in my country, probably we have the same or more scammers or more criminals than in Nigeria. But yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. I was okay. I was in the space. Sorry, on Clubhouse. You know Clubhouse, right? I
Yeah,
was there, one of those rooms, and then They were mixed with people, different colors, people of colors, like white, brown, black. They were just talking. And then one racist guy just came in, a white guy just came in, and because he saw some black people, he just assumed all of us were Nigerians. And he just started calling us names and was saying like we are all scammers, that we steal money from the white people, from the black people, we steal, that we're thieves. He was just
Sorry.
saying a lot of shit. Like God, he was talking. Like it's almost like he has been waiting for a time to talk to all Nigerians. And funny enough, all of us that were there were not actually all Nigerians. Some were black Americans. Some were just that the color was just black. You get, he just assumed that we being black meant that we were all Nigerians. And he was just talking and talking. He had this big beef with Nigerians. I was just insulting all of us, and they had to, I don't know if they kicked him out of the room, but everybody like reported that his account. So I don't know if the account is still functioning now, because in
I'm
Clubhouse,
sorry that you had to put up with that, to be honest, because no one needs to have to deal with racists, really. And yeah, I'm just really sorry that anyone has to deal with that kind of hate.
Yeah, not hate, but
but if
discrimination probably. And
I
I
pass
don't.
this space and I see somebody being all racist, be it on Twitter space or on Clubhouse or any space at all, if I feel see someone being racist, I just classify them as being ignorant and stupid, because I don't see the point of even engaging in their kind of mentality, because racist or racism is something that I don't see as something that's going to end anytime soon. As much as we are pursuing or trying really hard to, like, make it leave the world and stuff like that, people are still going to be racist. So it's just as good as just living your life. You know what you're doing, you know your worth, and you know your kind of person, you know where you're coming from, you know your country. Even if, yeah, people have bad perceptions towards Nigerians, I don't care. I still love my country. Nigeria is still one of the best countries in the world, because we have a way of identifying ourselves. We know how to roll with ourselves anytime, any day. So like, I appreciate my country. Things are hard, yeah, but I still appreciate my country anytime, any day, regardless of the hard things people say about us or the negative things people say about us. So if I see a racist person on any space or any place at all, even in person. I don't think I've seen a racist person before physically. It's just always on the phone. This whole online stuff that we're engaging ourselves. I've only seen those kind of people, but I haven't seen them in person. And I don't know how I feel if I actually see somebody being point blank racist to me in person. So like, it's really sad for someone to just look at you and just classify you, or just tell you something based on your skin or your color, and it's not nice. It's not
No,
nice.
it's not. And you sound like an incredibly strong person to be able to deal with that, because I would just imagine it would sort of stay with me if people were being that kind of mindless and moronic, idiotic. It wouldn't, I wouldn't be able to just sort of put a lid on it. Would just make me so angry and upset, and it makes me upset and angry to hear you. So I'm glad that you have a better ability of dealing with morons like that. And yeah, again, I'm just so sorry that you have to deal with it.
It's cool. It's cool. I mean, we are dealing with it every day. I mean, we can't do anything about it, but hope that the world gets better and better by each day,
Well,
and each day
I have to
comes
tell you,
after.
you coming here and telling us things that we were assuming and we were wrong is, well, it helps. I mean, in my case, yeah, I really appreciate that because
Yeah,
yeah,
yes, that's good, because the thing is, we can't change everybody's perception towards Nigerians or towards Africans, right? But when we come on platforms like this, if you can change one or two persons' perception, that is okay. It's a start somewhere, because doing it for 2 persons, 3 persons. Now those 3 people go do the same thing for other people. And like that, you're kind of like doing something without even knowing that you're actually doing something. Because when that guy came on Clubhouse that day and was just saying all sort of things, people had a lot to say to him. Although he didn't want them to talk, but fortunately he was the owner of that room, so he could easily mute people. And they have moderators there. So when he mute other people, they will unmute them and then they will talk. And people enlighten him, like they really enlightened him, but it didn't really change his perception. He was still strong on what he believed. And other people that were there rather got enlightened because people were ready to talk, because there were different people of color there. We had the Spanish people, we had the Philippines, the different people were on that space. That is the thing with all the spaces. Different ethnic groups, different people of color could be anywhere. And when you're talking to them, you're basically enlightening everybody to like learn a thing or two, which is really, really amazing. So you, Alberto, you said you taught this, but now I've told you the right thing. So you also go tell other people what you know, you've been corrected. And it's like that. Little by little, you get to like correct people's perception, people's mindset on how they see things. Nigeria is not all that bad. I mean, every country has his or her own black people, or should I say bad eggs, people that do shit in each country. So when people just come and see Nigerians, I see Nigerians as scammers, I feel like slapping the people because it's just wrong. There are scammers in every country, in every continent. I heard a story about in the US. I don't know who did it, but I heard that there was somebody that was siphoning all this little naira or little dollars from the bank. He connected it to a certain account. All these little cents that nobody really pays attention in accounts. The person siphoned it into a certain account, and the thing mounted up to millions and billions of dollars. And I don't know if they caught the guy. I don't know if it was a black guy or a white guy, but I shall know that the person was based in America and he did all that. And when they finally caught him, it was a lot of money that the guy had like obtained through those little cents that was at the end of someone's account. So hackers are everywhere, but people just, when they talk of hackers, they just bring Nigeria to the front and say Nigerians are hackers, which isn't fair. But
I suffer something. I mean, people know nothing about America. They have also, uh, I mean, they assume also many things, and they have no clue about this continent. Uh, they have no idea. Actually, when I say I am from Uruguay, most of the people, especially from North America, have no clue of where Uruguay is. They are like, where is that? Yeah, I mean, uh, yeah, I feel strange. Uh, but yeah, I suffer. I think, I mean, not the degree that Africa is being treated by people. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in the United States, I mean, the discrimination, I can really feel it. How people, there are certain group of people that they really, really feel anger towards other people because of the color of the skin, and that's so strange for me because here we don't have that problem. Uh, Here, I mean, discrimination that's not part of our society, and yeah, and I don't know. I feel sad about them. At the same time, I feel surprised that, I mean, okay, they assume so many things that are completely wrong regarding this continent. That is really, I don't know. You ask yourself, did these people actually have geography classes when they went to school? Yeah, it's like that.
Local geography that
yeah,
doesn't like refer to the rest of the planet. And
To be
I
honest,
am watching
United
some.
people from United States, they think that the world is United States, Canada, maybe Mexico, and that's the end. They know that the world has much more than that. I mean, I'm generalizing again, and that's not good, but most of them, when I say I am from certain country that they have no clue it exists, they're like that. I mean, they really don't care about the rest of the world. They really, I mean, they they don't know anything.
I just think a lot of the time it's just like not knowing, and it's not surprising people don't know things if they're not taught things. And the problem is, I think, certainly here in the United Kingdom, and I imagine it would be the same in the United States, is that they're only teaching what they think you need to know, which doesn't really encourage uh, curiosity, to steal a word you used earlier, Alberto. It doesn't teach people to be curious, it doesn't teach people to inquire. And I would just go to a Mark Twain quote, that travel broadens the mind. I believe it really, really does. And I'm lucky to have been to Ghana and to Kenya, and I would love one day to go to South America, because one of my good friends from school moved to. I think she was supposed to be going to like university in Cuba, but she ended up going to Chile, meeting someone and getting married. And I would love to be back in contact with uh, Emily. She's a lovely girl, and languages was her forte. She was so good at speaking other languages. And I'm still, yeah, massively jealous, because some people have just got a knack for it and me not so much.
Yeah, there are many people that come to South America. You know Willow, right? Okay, you know Willow?
I think for the first time our paths crossed today.
Oh, right, yeah. Well,
Well,
Willow
be
uh,
yesterday now, probably.
came to study in Argentina many years ago, and yeah, it's not uncommon that certain people come to this part of the world to study and basically to learn some Spanish. Uh, it's not very rare, but most of them actually I used to use, I don't know if you know, if you heard about it, couch surfing. uh, Basically it was a service where you could host people from other countries in your couch, supposedly. And yeah, I met a lot of people from all over the world, never somebody from Africa, but I met people from Asia, people, of course, a lot of people from Europe, and some from the USA, and it was an amazing experience. And many people that I met were actually coming here to study Spanish, mostly people from, yeah, from Europe, Germany. A lot of people from Germany here. That was pretty interesting to know more about them. But again, nobody from Africa ever. I never met in somebody from Africa in their life.
Speaking of Spanish people, right? I always had a thing for Spanish people. I love Spanish. Like, if there's a language I would love to learn, it's Spanish, because I don't know, I just admire them, their whole porqué, all the whole accent, the whole. I love it. I was watching a TikTok video, I think last week or so, and there was this white girl, very pretty girl. She was just making a video. So she went into a restaurant to like get something, and the restaurant was owned by a white lady. So now this girl, she was just, it was not like a planned thing. She just mistakenly videoed it, because she videoed where she saw this white lady, that's the owner of the store. She was just talking to the Spanish people anyhow, like the Spanish mom and daughter, they came in to get something. But she refused to sell to them. She was like they should go back to their country, that they're not Americans, that they should go, that they are tired of listening to different accent or different language instead of English. That if she cannot speak English, that she was not going to sell to them. And unfortunately, the mom and the daughter could not speak English. They were just trying really hard to like speak it. So now this white girl was kind of really pissed, and she was videoing it and was like, "Why are people so racist and stuff like that?" So it was something that she wanted to blow up so that they will like people will come and query that woman in her store and like make her to I don't know how, but you get what I'm saying now. It was a lot. It was a thing that was just going on. People that were on TikTok were giving their complaint. They put all this petition thing that people should petition to bring down the shop and everything. So I don't know. As much as black people are getting a lot of racist comment, a lot of racist attitude from people, I think Spanish people are also getting it too. Other people of color, brown people are also getting their own too. So
A
I
lot
don't.
of the time, I think it's anyone that's in any way different. It seems to scare people, and
Yeah.
I don't really understand why people are just quite so mindless, to be honest. But when you were saying about the video, I was just imagining in my head like USA, USA, which seems to, maybe I'm wrong, but that seems to be a lot of people's, I don't know, in this country, we seem to have a lot of people that think that we're somehow a cut above because we're from this tiny little island that has essentially what you said about Africa. And I think the reason quite so many people speak English is because of the way that the British Empire has basically rolled up to places, declared itself like some sort of savior, and just taken everything and called it their own. I'm ashamed, to be honest.
I get what you mean though. I get it because it's really sad. I mean, this Black Lives Matter something that they did last year. The whole protest and everything. I think that was like the largest protest they've ever had like before, and people were actually heard. There was a clip of a white girl. She was videoing herself. A small girl, I think she was probably like 13 or 14. She went live on Instagram and was just crying and was like, people should listen to what her parents were saying. As people were talking about Black Lives Matter, the girl was for the black people. She was supporting what we were pursuing. But her parents were like talking in the background. She even had to even flip the camera for us to see what her white parents were saying, that black people don't belong there, that they're not supposed to be there. She was so embarrassed. She was so ashamed by what her parents were saying. She was crying like profusely on the camera. People actually saw her crying. A lot of followers. For that girl gained followers that day. People were just talking to her, telling her that for the fact that she knows the right thing, she should just ignore her parents and try and enlighten people of her age. The same thing you get because, and it was during that George Floyd period when they were talking about how black people are being treated and how it was George Floyd that kind of filmed the whole thing. So the girl was just talking and was like, I felt really bad for the girl because how would you see your parents knowing fully that this is how their mentality is? It's totally wrong. They don't plan on changing. You love your parents, but you're just really sad in the kind of mentality that they're using to like go. And luckily, their mentality didn't pass on to her. Rather, she kind of like chose to not think like them because she was just talking on the live video that she had a lot of black friends. And funny enough, most of her friends are black people, but that doesn't mean she's black. She just fancies black people, and she doesn't even see the difference between black and white. They're just people. To her, she has people as friends. Nothing like she has black friends or white friends. She just has people as friends. But because of her parents, she was able to differentiate between the black and the white. So she was just talking and talking on on the live video. I think they even wait. I think CNN called her. I don't know. I think I heard something like CNN calling her to interview her because that her video or her live video went viral. A lot of people reposted it on their Instagram. It was on Instagram that she went live and was saying all sorts of things concerning black and white people. A little girl of like 13, 14 years old, having that kind of knowledge, feeling so deeply sad by the kind of things her parents were saying. And I'm sure it's not only her parents that had that kind of thoughts. Maybe their family members too think the same thing and all this kind of stuff. Well,
I
like I
think
said,
it's deeply ingrained, sadly, and this is why, to quote Whitney Houston, I believe that children of the future, I think they have a much, much better attitude than my generation because, well, that's our only hope, really, isn't it? The young people, the ones that can sort of see where their parents and probably the rest of their family are getting it so very badly wrong.
yeah, the
Uh,
problem is with the
yeah, the Carl, Carl, right? Key. I mean, he always mentioned that. Okay, and I agree with him. It's not about the colors of our skin. It's not about our religion. We are all humans. We are the human race. And yeah, it's not like I have black friends. Oh, come on, don't say that. Uh, that's ridiculous. I have friends, as you said. We're all humans, and we all should be treated with respect. We all should be. I don't know. Why mention attribute of a person when it comes? Okay, was a black person. No, there was a person. Why do you have to add that? It basically adds nothing, but it's something that okay. Why the division? We are all humans.
yeah, well, like Kay said, it's basically just the children of tomorrow that are actually going to like change the narrative because the older people already have their own perception. Yes, you have some older people that are not against black people or other people of color, but I think the population that still have that mentality engraved in them right from the onset, they are the ones that I don't think you can actually do much about. You can do the little you can trying to like change their mentality, but there's still some that have this deep belief that black people are not for the white people, that they're not supposed to be there, and so many other stuff. So the younger generation, we just have to put more focus on them and hope that they know the right thing and that they don't have to reason like the way the older people reason. If the younger generation have more knowledge and they are taught more of all this stuff, then yeah, definitely in less than or in the space of 5 years or 10 years, I don't think racism would be a problem anymore because by then would have been able to eradicate racism from the planet completely because by then people would have been taught. There's this series Blackish. Blackish, I love that series because it's so diverse because in the family there are different people of color. You can see that the way they mix the family up is so amazing to show you that you don't necessarily need to come from a white person, but there's going to be that white person that married a black person that gave birth to a biracial child, and then you see the biracial people having just a black kid and biracial kids, and it's so diverse. And the filming, the way they acted everything was so beautiful. I don't know if you guys have watched it. The way they acted the series from Blackish to Grownish to Mixedish, the three of the trilogy of all the stuff was very amazing. So yeah, we need to just like the little kids of tomorrow that need to be enlightened. Like that little girl now, the way she was crying, everything. If she
Yeah,
has more
sorry.
her,
No, go ahead.
eh, if she has more people like her, then definitely. Why won't we eradicate the whole idea of racism? I don't know. We that in our country here. We don't know the impacts of this racism onto you. I think for some people, my friends have been saying it, that you don't really know how bad racism is until you actually go over there. Because we were just here, you're in your country now. The only problem you have is just, hustling and trying to make money and everything. That is the only issue you're having with your government, right? But people that are over there, they do say a lot. As a black person, you can't as much as raise your voice to another person, because the way that person could exaggerate the whole matter, even you right in front of you, we see somebody saying that you pushed them or you hit them, and they'll quickly call the cops on you. And the minute your name is put in the system, like, you've already limited yourself to so many other things in the country over there. I have people that are there and they tell me it's almost like they are tiptoeing, they're walking on eggshells over there because they're trying to avoid some kind of Karen people, because that's what they call racist people over there. If you're a racist, you're a Karen. So like, they talk about how they kind of like, they tiptoe, not tiptoe per se. People stop laughing. It's not tiptoe per se, but they kind of like very very careful. We in our country here, we're just normal. We don't really know the whole racism stuff. We don't really know how bad it is until you actually go over there and you see how people are acting. I saw a clip, guys. I watch a lot of clips. I saw a clip of a woman. I don't know if it was a joke kind of clip or if it was a serious one, but this lady was shouting, and the black guy was like, "Ma'am, leave my lawn," and all this kind of stuff. And suddenly, Luma just fell on the floor and was like, "Why did you push me?" Like, she was just shouting. Yes, the guy was surprised that why are you making noise? The lady was seriously on the floor rolling. I was like, "You pushed me." So like, I don't know if that was a serious clip, but if it was a joke, but I think from that joke they were able to make it, because something like that happens over there. White people really, really go as far as making it look like black people can't even say anything. And it's so horrible, because it's almost like, if you watch, there's this movie, it's called Karen. The movie is very interesting. You all should go check it out, because the way they acted everything is basically what white
What's the name? What's the name of?
Karen, Karen. That's the
Oh,
name of the movie. Came out last year. It was very interesting. The way they acted the movie was amazing, because I think over there, like I said, if you're a white person and you're racist to a black person, you're a Karen, because that is just what you're doing. I don't really know the whole story behind that Karen stuff. I'm able to tell you this thing because when I go on Clubhouse, some of those rooms, I'm always meeting all these black Americans, and they tend to like talk about how living as a black person over there is, and they talk and they tell all sort of stories, all sort of things. I mean, guys, it's not easy. It's not about wanting to go over there. You want to go enjoy life, but as a human being, we that here in our country, we've been living in our country all our lives. When you finally get to go over there, it's really, really, it's so different, because the way you think things are supposed to be, you'll be surprised on how people actually behave. As a black person, a white person can just see you and automatically hate you just because your skin is different from his or her own skin. Like, it is really sad. And you can't do anything about it. It's not like here Nigerians, that in Nigeria, somebody will do you anyhow, you can just, what the person wants. You guys, my Nigerian people are here, so they understand what I'm saying. You can't do that over there, because if you do it, they'll take you and your name will enter the system. And once your name is in the system, it's like, that's a whole nother like, it's a whole different story. And you don't really, I don't know, you can't do anything. You'll be limited to where places where you can get jobs and things that you want to do. So it's like, it's a big problem. There's also this movie they acted, The Hate You Give, that one too, making sense. There's so many movies that are coming out now that it kind of like shines light on how people are being treated, or how black people are being treated over there. So if you guys have watched it, I don't know. If you've not watched it, go watch it. You get to know more things about all this.
and I
I
have
don't
a
know, black.
question. Do you think that regarding new generation is might be associated to globalization and being able to access to tools in order they get to know the world, they get to see the world. if you point at older generations? Do you
Sorry,
think?
I can't hear you. What did you say?
No, if sorry about my cellular is having a problem. Can you hear me now? Better?
Okay, yeah. What did you say?
No, I wanted to ask you if you think that maybe what you mentioned regarding generations are going to make the change or help changing the perception of the world has to do with the globalization, that they have tools to basically get to contact with other people, get to know more about the world than the older generations.
It's the only hope, in my opinion.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Tai Noah, you have your hand raised. You can.
Yeah, he wants
Hello,
something.
Alberto.
Yeah.
How are
Hello.
you doing? And everyone else. So I've got a question for Catherine. Um, yeah. So my question is, what does she think? Because I think she's in Nigeria. I'm in South Africa right now, and I think Alberto, I live in a ghetto. And some of the race, Afrophobia and xenophobia that has been happening, it's quite close to me. So much so, in the next few days, there is apparently vigilante in my ghetto which want to start this very same thing. So I wanted to ask regarding that don't you think that this is a systematic way of controlling people? Instead of them having a one goal, we are always shattered into many pieces. So even the stuff which is happening in America, it's not that it's a person who has the racism inside their heart, it's the system which is putting it inside. So I just wanted to hear your view regarding that.
Sorry, I didn't really catch what you said. Come again, please.
Or I'm asking that, don't you think that it's because of the system? It's a way of control. People themselves, they are not racist. It's the information that we are told and we are shown. So I'm giving an example of even how right now I'm Zimbabwean, as you can see my flag, and I'm living in South Africa, and I'm facing, truly speaking, something that I would say it's equivalent to life and death situation, right? And this is to any foreigner who's in my area from other black people themselves, not even white. So I'm asking, don't you think that it is a way that the systems of the world control everyone? I'm sure in Nigeria, I know that you guys are big divided on religion between Muslim and Christians, especially. So I'm asking, is it not because it's in America? In America, they use racism to control the minorities. In your country, for instance, they use religion. In this country, they are using Afrophobia. So in every region, if you want to go deep down to it, at the end, we might see that it's system. So I wanted to ask your opinion on that.
Wait, I didn't really catch what you said, but let me pick it little by little. You said that over there they use racism to, like, is it cut down the system or something, right? Then your country, South Africa, they use xenophobia, right? Am I getting this right? To, like, reduce the minority, or is it the population or something? And then my country, they use religion. I don't get my country. I don't understand. We don't use, how are we using religion to, like, cut down? Please, you guys, Nigerians are here. Boston, did you catch that?
Divide and conquer.
Okay, Kay, can you explain? Because I'm trying to understand. Lucifer, you know what talk? I don't get, because you know what, Kay, explain to me.
Maybe, yeah, when I came in, you were speaking regarding the American racism, right? So I just heard from that part where you were speaking how they systematically put racism down. You're speaking about the little girl who's 14 years, who had quite some profound stuff to a video that she placed online. I don't know if you can actually post it. I would love to see it as well. Then,
No,
so yeah. So I'm asking from the point of view where I'm African, right? And I'm living in a country where racism is like 90 to 90 to 10% kind of stuff. Like where 90% of the people own 10% of the wealth. No, sorry, 10% of the people own 90% of the wealth and vice versa, right? So racism has been here, like in South Africa. South Africa is divided. It was especially created and engineered well and mastered here. Then the issue now came to when Africans started going and killing other Africans, right? Where now I started to say, no, the problem is not the people, how we feel to say, no, the black whites are taking stuff from the black people. I started saying that it's the system, the governments, if I can put it much clearer, that the people themselves, inside their hearts, right? I'm talking about now individual people who live in America who are white, who are the predominant race. I do not believe that they are inherently racist. I believe that they are systematically racist in terms of information is placed and the person who's black, right, is placed robbing someone and all that kind of stuff. Then people get to feel an ill treatment again. I don't know, like against those people. Where I'm saying that, don't you think we are being forced by our governments to hate one another, no matter which country you are? That's why I used South African example, your country as an example between Christians and Muslims. Then I went to US between the minorities in the US, not just blacks, but the minorities versus everyone else. So I'm asking if don't you think that that is because the governments want to rule us? That's why they actually instill these things. It's not that people are like that.
I don't think I would say it's the government that is doing. It's just generations and generations of people of information that has been passed down, and people keep like upholding to what they believe. It could be part of the government's trick. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say because the government, before the government became the government, the people that are in the government, they were just normal, regular people before they entered power, right? Before they go into power. So it's kind of like the mentality or the belief that people that have been passed down to people, and it's kind of what keeps growing for the racism in the America and from the Americans, and then you guys, South Africans, killing other Africans, or should I say Nigerians, when they see them. And then we Nigerians too, according to you said, we have this religious something. I don't know. Nigerians, we're not killing our Nigerians so because of religion or something. Are we? Wait, tell you good. Are we killing Nigerians already for religion? Because I don't know if it's something I don't know about, but I can't really answer this question because I don't really get it that much. But let someone answer, then maybe I will take it up from there. Let's see if we'll be laughing. They better answer. Fadi, please, what do you have to say?
I was just like listening to uh, uh, like what he was saying. Why is he ashamed of his ethnicity? We are Indians. We in India have like you can't imagine how many ethnicity is there in India. It's an age-old tradition. Why is he ashamed of what he is? It's like everywhere when I go there, it's the same thing. People saying, I'm from Africa. What's there? It's the same. Whether you are in Europe, whether you're in States, everywhere, you're same. I don't, I don't understand what this thing is about. And honestly, about this NFT space, it it's nothing nothing matters. What is your art? You speak about it. That's it. And bro, and honestly, just don't get carried away with things like this. Ethnicity is something. It's not like you are not because you didn't decide you will come to this ethnicity. It came. B- Just carry it. Nothing is there. Just go forward. Whether someone is sneezing or something, who cares? Why do you want to like even listen to them? Just go on, man. This is life. It's only one thing. This is the only life you get. Why you want to like put the nose in and everything and all? Okay, I'm terrible in English. Okay, yeah, that's it.
you, Paradeep. Both, truly speaking, I believe that we are different and we should love each other and accept each other in our differences. I just wanted to ask, because the equivalence of what I'm saying, if I'm wrong, you may please correct me. I stand to always correct. I'm always learning. But in India, you have got New Delhi and you have got Mumbai, right? I think those are your two biggest cities. Then you have got Bangalore or something like that, the other city. So, as far as I'm concerned, for instance, New Delhi, you get the dark in complexion Indians being the most predominant ones. Then in Mumbai, you get the light skin colored, light skin Indians living in that section of the country. And as far as I'm concerned, I have heard that, for instance, India is divided on that, where it is now you are a dark skinned Indian and you are a white skinned Indian. So as I heard also in China. So that's like the similarity where I'm saying the like I heard that that was actually because the British, when they conquered, they made it so where they give opportunities to the light-skinned Indians, and the dark-skinned Indians would get the lower parts of the jobs and all that kind of stuff. So my question is, yes, sir, you can actually come in because that's actually where, yeah, please come in.
Sorry to interrupt. It's like you were telling that the British were giving opportunity for the Indians to speak, and and India is age old traditions. The British has nothing to do there. They just came there to even you don't have to mention about that.
I'm sorry. Is it me who's having connection issues or everybody's? Rob,
Uh,
can you hear me?
hello, hello.
Kay, can you hear me?
I
I
think
can
he
hear
was
you
breaking up a
fine.
little
You're
bit.
just very
Okay, I
quiet.
can see your microphone off.
Okay,
I will disconnect and connect again. You
yeah.
keep talking.
Am I audible?
I can hear you.
Okay. Uh, it's nothing like it's like India and Africa are like age-old traditions. We have to just when the British came, they did this one. They came after after ages. They came to India. It's a 5,000-year-old tradition in both in Africa and India. It's nothing like we can't just name anything with the British. Nothing is there. After looting for 2000 200 years, they just went. That's it. They got what they
Yeah,
want.
and it's disgusting because they don't teach things like that over here. It's just like we went over wherever and we brought democracy and civilization, which basically meant we raped, we murdered, and we pillaged. And I am absolutely disgusted by knowing the history that most people don't find out, they don't get to hear. And perhaps if they did, they wouldn't be able to believe that human beings could be so awful. But that is again something that I'm I wish that like more people could hear about it, because so many people, like I say, was like I when I was in Ghana 25 years ago, god I'm old, I went to Colonial Castle, where they told us what the British did to people. And I just really I it was beyond belief almost. I was only young and no one had ever told me anything like that before. And yeah, I wish I was better at sort of speaking about it, but I am ultimately still learning myself, and that's why I'd like to thank everyone, because yeah, I'm still learning and I'm still trying to know more, and one day I'll hopefully be able to travel a bit more and understand a bit more, because yeah, I maintain that travel broadens the mind.
Wow, I'm really quite impressed. Good morning, everyone.
Hi, how are you? Welcome.
Thank you. Please, I'm giving a reply to what Tyan said. A brother living in South Africa. Are you from Tanzania?
No, my king. I'm from Zimbabwe, but I'm living
Okay,
in Pretoria, South Africa.
okay. Thank you very much. I'm giving a reply to your question, your earlier question. Okay, talking about the racist you made earlier about racist in Africa, and you also make a little reference down to Nigeria concerning the religious racism happening here in Nigeria. I will say to you, yes, some of the racists you made mention concerning religion really happened here in Nigeria. I believe it really not a matter of being it racist. It is matter of what we have actually been experiencing from time immemorial. I should say that these are things we inherited from our forefathers. It's really not a matter of
So, King,
racism. You get?
I'm having a challenge to hear you. I don't know if you're breaking only on my side. I don't mean to stop you.
No, I can perfectly hear him. I don't know the rest. I have no problem
Okay,
with him.
okay. You get? Because here in Nigeria, the issues we have here between religions don't actually affect the foreigners, because with the way I've seen things here in Nigeria, we really appreciate and we we love foreigners very much. I should say that with honesty, you get, because the issues having here in Nigeria, it has been long experience, and to date they are still experiencing the issues of religious disputes. You get? So in terms of being there in South Africa, experiencing anglophobia and acrophobia, you get, those are things that affect most of the foreigners. So talking about the being racist here in Nigeria, I will say to you, brother, it's really not happening and it's really not affecting the foreigners. So if there are some foreigners out there hoping or wishing to come and have one or two investments here in Nigeria, I will say to them in good faith, you should go down to Nigeria and invest, bro. You get? So I don't know if this might answer your question.
Uh,
Thank you.
Certainly, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. What I'm actually trying to that's the thing that I'm trying to show. That's why I was saying that the individual, if you go down to look at the individual levels, you don't get to find this, right? So what I'm trying to say is, for instance, we know that there is Boko Haram in what do you call it, in Nigeria, which is an
Okay.
extremist Islam, an extremist Islamic supporting almost like state and everything. So the
Okay.
reason is now, yeah. So we know, for instance, that that was created and was formulated from the CIA coffers and all that, you know. So
Okay.
what I'm saying is, don't you think that we are being made to hate one another? So, as you are mentioning, that there is no problem between actually like the people, you can have a mosque opposite a church, and those people have never fought. But then
Okay.
when you put it, when we look at it like from a perspective where we are far, we look at it as if in Nigeria there is a problem between religions,
Yes, you are quite all right.
or right now in some.
Sorry, Pradep Pradep, did you? Oh, he dropped us a listener. If you want to say anything, just request the microphone. Sorry to interrupt you guys.
Thank you very much, Alberto. I guess our South Africa brother still went down. Connection might be bad. So coming back to what he was saying concerning the religious dispute here in Nigeria, here, yes, it really happens. So we have been suffering from that very problem for like since I've known the country. So it shouldn't have anything to do with foreigners coming to invest here in Nigeria or having foreigners issues. No, we haven't in any record have any issues with foreigners coming here in Nigeria to have their business and other form of tourist event. So it's an open field for all and it's an open field for one. So if anything comes up, we all benefit from it. Thank you.
No, thank you very much for sharing that. I really respect your point of view. Yeah, religion. That's a topic that I don't want to enter to, but yeah, I mean, religion is an issue that not a minor issue. In my country, we don't have any religion that the government is. Our country doesn't is not aligned with any kind of religion. We are mostly Catholic, but the what that influence in society is really nothing that is important. People can have any kind of religion. We respect that. As I said, we are mostly Catholic, but the influence of religion here is really you don't notice that at all. So again, another difference of my country that I cannot I mean, it's hard for me to visualize the different realities. As I was mentioning in the United States, I visualize so much hate that certain people have towards certain other group of
Okay.
people. Okay. No, yeah, I have a very important problem with my cellular. No, in my country,
Okay.
religion is a minor issue.
Okay.
It's hard for me to understand how in countries such as the USA, there is so
Okay.
much hate between certain groups, how religion can affect in other countries so much the
Okay.
way they are. So yeah, it's hard for me to understand that because I come from another reality, so trying to
Okay.
understand that is complicated, but I love hearing you and I love learning about your culture, your country. For me, it's really something that is giving me a lot of information and doesn't make me so ignorant when it comes to the reality from other places in the world. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm learning a
Okay.
lot.
Okay. Thank you. Religions is a really big problem here in the world. It's a really big problem. I also agreed with what Tonio said in South Africa about the government using the racism tools, using racism as a tools to divide or to segment the people down here in the world. It's really true. So over there in South Africa, we have heard a lot of story concerning the agoraphobia and other things happening over there. So you were also saying something concerning the the environment where you are living. So I really didn't get that.
Sorry, I'm bragging a lot. Please keep talking. I am changing my connection again, but please keep talking.
Yeah, it's breaking up.
Yeah, I'm changing my cellular, so uh, please keep speaking. I have to change my connection.
So whilst my king there is coming, you C4. Um um K Fabian, I want to say this, right? Um like you actually discussed it. Even in the time, let me use United States. When United States had to go to World War II, they actually had to do I think it was a smear campaign, like a propaganda kind of stuff inside their country so that they can be supported. Now, I do not know how much you know about Sisu John Rhodes, but we cannot take the whole and say everything that was done by Britain, it was done by every British person, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, I want to mention this. Cecil John Rhodes was, I don't know how much, firstly, you know about the guy, but this guy was pretty much a dirty person, like him, not everyone. Then you have him meeting the second Baron Rothschild here in Cape Town, right? And he started to work for him. He was 16 years old. He was suffering from vitamin D deficiency, if I'm not mistaken. So he was sent here in Africa, and he was in Cape Town when that happened. So when he met, he was very intelligent and charismatic boy, like how they mentioned and everything. So the second Baron Rothschild liked him, so he started doing the runarounds. You have got an old man who usually wants to be in places. Now there's a young boy that you can run, that can do your errands. So he basically was doing every errands, and then he came up with a solution to say, "Hey, let's make a cartel at Kimberley." So there is a, if you know, in South Africa, there's a diamond. The first diamond mine was
Diamond
called
mines.
Kimberley. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. So they came there. Then he started making cartels by joining these cartels, and because he was the one who was working for Baron Rothschild, the power also was almost like bestowed on him. So that movement from there, they created the BASC, the British South African Company. So it was a a company. We started mining tin and also diamonds. Gold was mainly being mined by the Boers, the Afrikaners, right? So what happened was these guys, they wanted the land now, like to actually occupy the land. So they started to actually do wars, proxy wars, by financing locals to fight with other locals at first. This was around the 18 1880s, 18, yeah, around the 1880s, 1870s, somewhere there. So what happened from that time was, now they saw that the divide and conquer who works, and they started to actually hit more and more and more on it. So what ended up happening was, for instance, they had this thing called the Pioneer Column, which was now Sisu John Rhodes and the guys now actually going from the way from Cape Town all the way inland. It was a 2,000 kilometers, which is about 1,000 something miles journey. Ended up in Harare, the current place, which is called Harare. There is what they call the Unity Square, which is the place that they landed, which is a park designed as a Union Jack, the flag of Britain, right? So if you look on the capital city of Harare, in the parks which are there, there is a park which was designed as a Union Jack. When they arrived, that's where they arrived. And about 200 meters to your east, southeast, that's where the Parliament of Zimbabwe is. So the story goes this way. They placed the parliament because there is gold on top of it. It will explain everything about racism. I'm sorry, I over explain sometimes. So they found gold. So that moment when they found gold, they stopped there and they decided that they should now start actually to exploit that area. Why? Because the gold in the south in the area was Africans. What happened was, this guy went back to UK. Lord Baron Rothschild II was now back in UK. They saw him, and then they wanted a weapon that can actually be able to make the wars, for them to win the wars. Remember, they were already defeated by Shaka using those old guns that they used to stuff, they call it what, muskets, right? So the interesting part is, the second Baron Rothschild got the Maxim gun, that gun that you roll around and all that. He financed that from an American inventor, and those guns, they were given 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken, to Cecil John Rhodes. Then he came back to Africa. Now, that's where the atrocities and the most disgusting stuff come, because they were colonizing by genocide. There is numbers that are over 50 million of people in Southern Africa that was cleared by one person. I'm saying all of this to mention this. When all this was being done, it was not being broadcasted or being shown like that in the UK. So this was dirty business outside of the country. Individuals had no idea. The reason why I know about this is because when all these things would come to light, what was going on in the UK, I always found out there was smear campaigns by the government there, or the monarch, to actually quell down the noise from the civil society, to say, you guys, you are busy doing hearing, you are busy doing 1, 2, 3, 4 in these new worlds, right? So even the independence of Africans and all that, most of it came due to the people, to the citizens of these countries. So that's where exactly what I'm saying now. The thing is, we have to actually now to see how we were made to fight one another, where we are all being controlled by the same way, which is divide and conquer rule. And this thing where it's funny that they do not teach it in the UK, but truly speaking, if they start teaching what the monarchs here is from the 1800s, actually from the 1700s to the early 90s, those will be some of the most dark ages in the world. That kind of stuff. Like, there's so much history. I thought that you guys, like, you know about it. But some of the books that we read here, they were commissioned straight from, to be written by historians from UK and all that, of which now we know some of the stories got to be diluted so that they can fit a narrative, and sometimes they don't take out the true gruesomeness of evil that was taking place. But we actually have to take it away from the citizens of a country to the powers that were controlling the country. These are individuals. I think my king was here. He even mentioned that my sister was here. She mentioned that people, when they come into power, it's individuals coming into a system, right? So those systems are the ones that oppressed people in the world. I'm sure even in South America, Alberto will be thinking, especially with the Spanish rule, also because it was the Spanish in South America, the British here in the British, the French, and the Belgians here in Africa. And I posted yesterday, we were actually discussing this as Africans in a group. So on my post, on my is it called post, on my wall, Facebook stuff, I tweeted some of the information. If you see these maps of Africa with the triangles and all that, we're actually trying to disseminate our own history from the point of view to say, why did we ever do this? Why 1, 2, 3? Because this history is there and it was also taken from us. So the divide and conquer rule worked because they would come in, change the history of the two guys. Another narrative there that we met people with eyes. Like, it was crazy, some of the stuff that we got to read, which I actually historically documented. One of the first guys who came to Southern Africa, when he went back to England, when he was giving in his journal, he wrote like he saw black people, so black as charcoal. They have eyes everywhere, all over their bodies. That kind of stuff. Like, that's how they would degrade a black person, so that the people there, they can have a different narrative of what they are dealing with. And whenever they hear, oh, we're sending guns to Africa so that we fight, whenever a person is imagining, he's imagining a human being with eyes everywhere, right? So it will be justified to say, no, these are not human beings, these are something else. So what I'm advocating for is liberation of our minds by speaking the truth, by always challenging those things which are hard for us to speak. And always, like always, no matter what religion, color, whatever that you believe in, always love the others who are so-called the opposite from you, like actually love them. That's the only way you get to understand someone's perspective. Thank you very much.
No, thanks to you, really. Here, yeah, I mean, I think that love is the tool that can make change everything. Uh, Despite the hate of other people, if we respond with love, that's a powerful tool in order to make people actually think, and uh, maybe some of them might actually realize that, yeah, we are all human beings, and we should all be treated with respect. Here in South America, I was saying earlier that people, I mean, most of the, I don't know in Africa if you know much about South America, but here in South America we don't know much about Africa, unfortunately. I am pretty ignorant. I'm learning a lot from you guys, and I'm pretty surprised because yeah, had certain idea about Africa that was completely wrong. I was completely wrong, and now I'm realizing how stupid I was. uh, but yeah, here we are, the influence of the Spanish, the Portuguese, is huge. It's really, they are, I mean, the people that came here and took. Uh, I mean, Uruguay is the only country in South America that doesn't have indigenous. They were all unfortunately killed by the Portuguese people that came here initially. But in the rest of South America, yeah, there are, you have people that are the indigenous, but unfortunately here we lost that, and that is part of our culture. It's part of our story. Unfortunately, we were unable to keep that. So yeah, Uruguay is a very
Hey, King.
particular country in South America. Yeah, go ahead.
So you see, King
Go ahead.
Albert, what you're saying right now, right? You don't even have to know what is happened in Africa. Look at what happened to you. It's the same thing when they cleaned out regions. Like we're talking when, and as I mentioned, I've mentioned 50 million of people, right? 50 million were killed by one person. Basically, Sisu John Rhodes. This is more than Hitler. Yet that's the reason why I don't know if you ever saw if those things showed up, but there was a movement in Africa to take away, in South Africa, to take away Sisu John Rhodes statues, for instance, right? Which was called hashtag Rhodes Must Fall. If you check Rhodes Must Fall, you just type Rhodes Must Fall online, you start to see those things. So it's those kind of things that us Africans now having now technology knowledge, where certain scripts and stuff that used to be buried under some museum are now documented, and we can get to have access over them. All those kind of stuff, they're changing the narratives because we tend now to know the real truth. Before, I used to go in a class, get indoctrinated in a class, go out and work in a factory or in a field. Right now it's different, where I wake up. I think I'll bet I told you my story, how I even taught myself hacking and all this kind of stuff, right? So that moment where a person can now start to find knowledge on themselves, that's where we start to go and say, oh, the British Museum has got a website and they archived everything that they have online. Then you go inside and you type and you find out there is something like documents that were archived that came from Zim from the 1800s. When you read them, you start to find out information like that, right? Then that's where we starting to open each other's eyes and everything. The reason why information was never shared across continents and everything is because the atrocities that were being done by these European monarchs back in this from the 1600s, from Columbus himself, Christopher Columbus, the so-called the one who discovered America, was there were people already there. That guy, from him to the rest that came, the Sisu John Rhodes, every one of them, they were now using that very same book. So much so, there's what is called the King Leopold's letter to Congo, right? Which is called which is called what is it called? But it was basically the weaponization of Christianity. in Africa, like the weaponization of Christianity in Africa. So all this kind of stuff is things that now we know. We get to read the letter ourselves, the original letter with the stamp and everything, you know. So it's now starting to change how we see things, where you start to see, oh, so back when they were busy colonizing us here in Africa, the people in Britain were actually being lied to. Oh, they didn't play this book only once. This book is continually being played. So much so right now we have got that book being played by Russia in this current war that is happening in Ukraine. Where right now the Russians they've been secluded from the world and they're now getting their own propaganda. They're being told some other stories from outside and all that kind of stuff, right? It's those kind of stuff where during war, the people that are supposed to be stopping the thing to happen, they are told, hey, if we don't stop this, we're gonna die. If we don't stop this is what's gonna happen. The people that we are fighting are not even people. They are part of animals. So all these narratives, I think that's why we need to speak of them, whether we are from Europe, from Americas, from Africa, from Asia, from the Australias. We must actually sit down and start to learn from one another, because that's what I believe. Like, we are all these good hearts. We are all people who are willing to coexist with one another. Therefore, we should leave the system and what we were taught to say: if they are not with you, do not love them. If they are not like you, do not love them. If they are not your kind, do not associate with them. So that's why even I was asking my sister, she's popping in and out, where I wanted to ask, like, what is her view? What does she feel like? Because that is my view, where I see that we are being made to bash head each other so that we can all, both of us, be controlled. Thank you.
Oh, that's amazing. You keep surprising me. I mean, yes, I do know your story. You told me what happened to you, and yeah, you have an amazing story that you live. That is something that many people will probably complain and say, "Oh, I had to live this and this." No, your attitude is completely different. So my respect for that. It's incredible. Your story again. Uh, it's something that is not nice, but you are a person that is always willing to learn, to try to understand the world as a whole, and I'm amazed by your knowledge. uh, yes, actually, when it comes to book, to story, uh, I realized that what we were told, what we were believing in, most of that are lies that they use in order to control, to make people have certain kind of, okay, we are like this, the other people are not like us, we not hate, but okay, we are not, but at the end, yeah, we are all the same, we're all people. And as you said, with love, it's a tool that will probably make us together again. The human race, no matter where you live, no matter anything. So yeah, your words are very wise, man. Yeah, I really respect you. I mean, really, I mean it.
Can I just second that, please? I was actually fascinated to learn that there was the whole thing about Cecil Rhodes, and that there was a big movement in Africa to down the statues, because we had the very same thing in an area called Bristol, and they have some very good activists there who absolutely and there was a big thing in the news, was it last year or the year before, in Bristol again, where they downed a statue. It wasn't of Rhodes. I can't remember who it was, but they not only pulled it down but threw it in the river. And then there was a big uh, thing, because our government are shockingly bad and they believe teaching accurate history is rewriting history and have therefore taken moves towards stopping the teaching of anything that makes, well, it's supposed to be Britain, but it's England, basically. It's all based around the English thinking that they are somehow better than all the other nations of the United Kingdom and Great Britain. And it's a sense of entitlement, sadly, that people aren't taught what actually happened and then get very defensive when anyone tries to tell them that there's things they don't know, because people seem to have quite a hard time accepting that, which, you know, is, you know, a sad fact about so many people who just don't know enough about things.
So I just want to come in there. So in South Africa and in Africa, basically the movement now is not to destroy the statues. If we destroy them, we are erasing also. We are now becoming the same thing as what it did to us, to erase history, right? So they are being taken down and being placed in museums, not as ceremonially statues, but we're actually now making them as history, to say this is, they will always know that this is the guy who killed 50 million of us. So if we try to erase that history, the ones in the future, they would not know about that. There cannot be reconciliation between us if we do not speak firstly of the truth as it is. So we must, it will be a duty for Africans to teach their children about what happened, but also, about most important, to teach them where we need to be going, to show that there is no need for fighting. For instance, I'm speaking like this, right, and saying I do not believe that is the individuals. Why? Because I got to learn through the history that was kept by others in your country, to say, oh, on this day they told us that we are going to fight those people with eyes everywhere, right? Where even in my perception, if I had to be told that white people have got eyes everywhere and they are whatever and all that kind of stuff, when we are being told we are going to fight them, if I had to reason in my mind, I'm not fighting a human being. That part of saying, that part of compassionate, that part where my heart feels for my other human, right? It goes away, because to me it was described as something else. So the question is it the problem of someone who did not have the information in that time and age, who only had to rely from sailors coming in a boat, and they get to be told about all these stories? The one coming from Bermuda Triangle, they're telling them how they saw a giant serpent and all that. The one coming from China Seas, telling them about how they saw a dragon. What about the one coming from Africa? People with eyes, they would believe that it was the time of exploration. Oh, we have got people with eyes everywhere, you know. So that part, we need to speak it. The statues there, I don't think you guys need to remove them, because it didn't colonize there. They might have been for being celebratory and all that, but I think if the history can be spoken and be said, this is the person that went and killed other people, don't be like him, right? That would be a more important part in the history of human being, where we start to say, don't do like what these wrongs were done, and those ones who were done wrong, we say, don't always feel hard, because these people, they were not all of them like that. There were circumstances where it was just some guys who can sit, like I always mention about the what do you call it, the Belgium conference, what is it called, when they did the scramble for Africa, you know. I always explain it as some guys sitting in on some tables, drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, right? So then they're busy tearing apart a land which is so huge and everything. That's not everyone. That's not, they had their own intentions at heart, and it was profit, and they're still profiting from it now. We know those companies, Anglo America, De Beers, Rio Tinto, we know them. They are there, they're operating, they still colonize Africa right now in terms of mineral sector and everything. They never really gave up anything. They said, play with your ground and do your farming on your own, but we're still gonna take the most important thing. It's still happening right now. That's why there's even a war in Congo. So the whole issue is this thing where if you won't know that we are still colonized if you do not know why were we colonized, because it was not a war between whites and blacks, it was not a war between the wrongs or the rights, or they were trying to whatever. It was straight up greed by certain individuals. Right now they're now super wealth beyond any measure. They can probably feed this world for a couple of years without any one of us doing anything, you know. So we have to start seeing what is the truth as the truth. And this thing of whenever we hear the truth, we get to use our emotions to control our minds. It has to stop somehow. So the first thing, history must not be erased, whether it was bad or good. History must be taught, and we must learn from it. So yeah, that's what I would just want to say for now. Thank you.
No, thank you. I think it's I don't disagree absolutely with you can't sort of sweep it under the rug and pretend that it never happened, because it absolutely did. And I just feel that I was sort of an exception, that I got to visit Ghana, and it still, just listening to what has been discussed in this space, has made me feel physically sick, because it was never really about pretending that things didn't happen. I'm absolutely 100% in agreement that people do need to know more. And in this country, at least, there is a very big effort to ensure that we are the good guys, essentially. Like, we always win because we're always on the right side, which is utter bullshit. And what I was trying to say is that by pulling down the statues, it is so you don't have to look up in a sort of worship type position, that there's a statue of this mass murderer, essentially, that is looming meters above you, where they do absolutely, like has happened here, they have been taken down and put in museums where people can learn about them but don't have to reverently look up at them, if that makes sense. It's sort of a debasing, very, very, I hesitate to use the word evil, but they were not good people, and therefore don't deserve to be held up as some kind of benevolent figure, because they absolutely weren't. It was mass murder.
Certainly, sorry, I could not react. I'm busy rolling my joint. Yeah, but you are certainly 100% on point there, and I agree with you. Like, we cannot be we cannot be put made into some kind of god. Definitely, that's why I that's what, like, we have to dismantle. But what I was just saying there was, don't like destroy it. It has to be taught. Though if they are there, they'll always, the generations that will come will always ask, so who is this person, right? And the question will be the truth. This is the person that 1, 2, 3 went to other countries, mass murdered people in the numbers that what you hear in World War II is nothing, kind of stuff. Because World War II, I think they say 40 something million, of which Cecil John Rhodes in 30 years he cleaned out 50 million people, kind of stuff, you know. So the history has to be taught in the truthful way. And when we are teaching it, repeat that, like, in a way that we should see how our coexistence should be. The things that were done and say it was wrong, don't ever do what Sisu did, right? So in that way, they can always know that, okay, there is that guy who has that statue. This is the person who did this. It becomes a point of history. Because the moment that he is removed there won't be a consciousness of who he was, let's say, in the British people and will be of in the future, because there is no reference to say, oh, this is what was once done. So yeah, that's what I just want to say. And truly speaking, I'm so open. I'm so open in speech. I can see we are all from different countries. There's Boston. He's like he's an African like me, and we're all. So I don't know. It's my suggestion that we go no holds barred. Whatever we really feel, we should. Because I think I have not been holding anything from my side, and I feel like you might think of it as the narrative of sorry to mention this, but the narrative of my fellow black Americans, where they can now be racist because racism is being given back to them. So I want to hear if if you have got opposing views. I just feel like we don't do it in a condescending manner, with respect and everything, but actually giving our so conversation, guys. Do not even hold no ban with me. I'm so open-minded. You tend to love me after this. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I would like to first hear from Shay Frat, and then we go to Cosmic. What do you think?
Well, it's very interesting. He pretty much offered a counter before I could even speak, and I respect that very much. In the fact that I think I might have been thinking something a bit condescending in the way that this conversation was annoying in the fact that I see it as common sense. And I don't quite understand why we're discussing something that is so common sense based to, of course, not take down statues and learn from history. And yet, in our reality, in our world, people are taking down statues. So, do we need to speak up more to spread this common sense? I just I don't quite understand what the conversation is about
Okay,
because
yeah.
because it's been so common sense based. And so
Well,
therefore sometimes when you speak common sense, it's perplexing why it needs to be spoken.
yeah, common sense is probably not common as we think. And basically, I will explain you. Maybe Kay can help me. It all began because somebody came to the space. She was from Nigeria. And actually, I made a comment regarding how good she spoke English and people from Nigeria. Well, she gave me a lesson of how little I did know about that continent. It was a good lesson for me. Uh, and then she started talking that she was in Clubhouse before, and she really felt not comfortable because of the way people were acting with her. And it all began like that. Kay, if you can add something on how this discussion came to this point, that would be wonderful.
I think you covered it pretty well, Alberto. I think that we were schooled basically because there's all sorts of things that we don't know, but we know a little bit more. And I think I speak for both of us that we're both very keen to keep learning. But yeah, I really can't add very much more. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
that's
So
perfect.
if I
Yeah.
can, yeah. So what happened was I had a sister of mine from Nigeria. I'm from Zimbabwe, but I'm living in South Africa. So when she was mentioning how uncomfortable she felt and everything, right? She kind of, from my perspective, it was more like I felt like she has not thought about that racism can be a systematic thing, can be created by a system of just a few people. So as I was mentioning it, I mentioned how, for instance, Southern Africa was colonized by Cecil John Rhodes, from the history where he met the second Baron Rothschild in Cape Town. And I was also mentioning regarding how Nigeria is divided on the basis of religion. And also like in America, where the minorities are separated by racism. And I kind of spoke about the Chinese, and there was an Indian brother as well. Then we even spoke about how New Delhi and the other one, it's escaping my mind again. New Delhi and the other city
Mumbai.
in the Mumbai, yeah. They are basically racially divided between light Indians and dark-skinned Indians. So we were speaking regarding systematic racism. So when we spoke about Cecil John Rhodes, my sister here, Kay Fabian, she mentioned how the history is not even taught in a way that I was speaking of, which us here in Africa, it's like common knowledge where that's what it did. This is what happened. We sort of like know it. So we're kind of like now trying to speak as people who are actually understanding and have a conversation to say what can be done, because if racism is systematic, then what is it that is making the divisions amongst people? Why is it that we cannot see how we are being controlled? So we are now like in the places where we're speaking about statues to say, for instance, the statues in Britain should not be taken down. And also, I was mentioning how here in Africa, South Africa, there was hashtag Rhodes Must Fall if you search online, when they were taking down statues. And I was even saying that those statues now, they're actually being taken to museum. At first, like when they're being taken, they wanted to destroy them, but everyone was like, no, do not destroy them, put them in museum so that we can always speak about the history. So it was now more of a conversation to say, let us actually speak about those things that may not feel comfortable, but I mean, this is the reason why we are learning, so that we can actually hear different perspectives as well, that kind of stuff. And we're mentioning 100% that we do not think that it is individual human beings who are propagating this system, but actually the system itself has got ways to propagate itself by propaganda to the people. That's why I mentioned kind of like the stuff happening in Russia right now. Thank you.
Can I just add, I didn't think that you and was her name Catherine?
Yeah, Catherine, that's
Um,
right. She was the one who started this topic. Actually, what was the initial topic? It was about a giveaway 10 NFTs, and yeah, she came, and yeah, my comment triggered all this.
but I didn't think that there was any actual like disagreement really when you said that it was because I said, is it like a divide and conquer, divide and rule thing? And I don't actually think that there was much like divergence of agreement that it is in fact a very systemic kind of ingrained problem, and that it doesn't, there's no one that this doesn't affect in some way, I think, just because there are these things that I actually got the feeling that no one was actually disagreeing about. It's just kind of the different ways that people express their experiences of what is going on around them, if that makes any sense at all.
Certain, no, I do not. Yeah, the choice of words, maybe it's the vocabulary that I used. With us here, we definitely agreeing. There is no disagreement. It's almost like we are browsing the thoughts and getting to know each other. Like what happened there? What do you know? And so I don't know. Yeah, like no, not at all. I'm not in disagreement with you. I was just in a different position with the perspective with my African sister because I mean we are of the same color, right? And probably I didn't ask, but we might be also from the same religion. So the thing about it, I was taking the point of view from a person who was oppressed to say, how did this happen to me? How did the other people let it happen if it was done by, let's say, soldiers? Why, what do they, this whole group of people hate me? So that's where I was taking the point now to say, if she gets to see history as how history is, as I mentioned, that we now have access to archives, for instance, the British Museum archive, directly from my computer if I need to read or to see certain information about certain things. So I was actually trying to provoke her, to encourage her, let's say, to get that curiosity up to say, why are the systems like this? Why do we have racism? Why do we have xenophobia, Afrophobia? Why do we have homophobia? All these wrong things that are there. Because from this point of view, it's not even just from my point of view. Colonization, white and black, it's the smallest stuff, really. Like there are bigger ways that we are being made to fight, like bigger ways than the skin of our color. That's like now the old school thing, you know. So I believe, like as I mentioned, that it's not a person who is inherently bad. It is a system that teaches a person to say, when you see these kind of people, treat them like this. Whether it's us here in Africans to say, when you see a white person, hate them because they killed our ancestors, and or it's there in Europe where you get to be told in a way, black people whatsoever, right? So with me, it's more of a system to say, let's fight the system because we are not part of it. And I don't even believe that we are inherently people who are hateful or evil, as you even said, that you even caution to use the word evil, but that we are bad people because the choices is what we say to say, I want to do good for this, I want to protect these people, so I have to kill that one, you know. So it was not that you wanted to kill, it was you wanted to protect. But the question is, was the information that you had about that person you killed correct? Was it relayed to you in the correct manner? So that is the part where I think we need to break, where a person does not even feel threatened by a lie because they were told a lie. I don't know if I'm making a little bit of sense.
I think I understand.
No, Shay, and basically that was how it all began and what the conversation is about. That's it. I don't know. Please share us what you think.
Well, the last part was fairly amazing, and I think that we're fighting the system through, as an example, this space right here, where I'm speaking with somebody in Uruguay, and I'm speaking with a Nigerian who's made his way to South Africa, and we had someone from Zimbabwe earlier. We've got a person in Britain, and we're all giving these opinions, and we're all in this space, and we all respect each other, and in some ways, that fights the system right there. I can only know my perspective, United States, Washington State, Pacific Northwest, and I'm 48 years old. And in the 90s, as I was growing up in adulthood, we were trained, and I came about this philosophy on my own, that we tried to say there was no color. And I'm a very competitive person, and I would always say, well, no, they're just humans, and we're all meant to compete against each other on a fair playing field. If you fast forward now 20 years and you're in the teens of the 2000s, it seems that there was something that came up in the culture, whether it's the system or the propaganda or the training or the times that racism was flipped, and people were meant to believe that they're all victims, even if they themselves were not victims. They were of a lineage of victims, and they could take that victimhood and become champions, and thus racism becomes flipped. And it was a very confusing time. It has been confusing these past 5 years, when I thought that the whole not seeing color, recognizing and respecting people as humans themselves, competing, learning, being teammates, working with each other, maybe debating and fighting against each other, all of that wouldn't necessarily matter of color. But nowadays, in the modern society, it seems that people are putting color, race, religion forward now, and they're leaving humanity behind.
Yeah, it's amazing. As you said, we're in 2022. I'm 46, and I cannot believe some things that are happening. I thought we were going to evolve, but yeah, actually, maybe it's not like that. And I really love the reflections of that. I know. I mean, he's trying to find solutions to this instead of discussing other things. How do we change this? That's amazing. Yeah, go ahead, my friend.
Yes, King. So I wanted to touch on what you just said. So I kind of know what changed in America in the 90s. It was the Clinton administration and their marriage with the military industrial complex when they started weaponizing the police so that they can actually sell more gear to the police in the name of fighting crime, which was actually being caused by in terms of racism stuff like that. So when we had an uptake, I'm saying there was an uptake of stuff like drive-by crimes, if I would put it that way. So they placed the narrative of
Okay, it's me. The problem he's having. Can you hear me?
Sorry, yeah, I had muted. There was a friend of mine had opened the door, so they're playing loud music in front and all that Easter. So basically, around that time, the Clinton administration apparently they actually started like arming police. That's when police started getting armed with kind of like military grade kind of equipment, right? So you now have a lot of them getting this equipment and always being used and reused and all that kind of stuff. So I, from what I was trying to learn, that's what I found out. Oh, racism is sort of like was perpetuated by the Clinton administration, especially. And when George W. Bush came through, he just placed an icing on the cake kind of stuff.
You know, that's amazing. I just want to back up your history, because yes, that is very accurate. One particular point in time that led to that was a robbery in Los Angeles where people in armor had automatic weapons, and the police in Los Angeles did not, and they used that circumstance as a propaganda tool to basically militarize the police. And I've seen that in my life. Alberto is he said, I believe 45. I'm 48. You know, and we've seen that occur at that exact time. How do you have such good knowledge of the history of my country, where you're at, and you have such I'm just very curious, because not many people in my country understand the militarization of the police, when it occurred, how it occurred, the triggers that occurred. You know, how does someone like you understand something that many people in my own circumstance, in my own neighborhood, in my own state do not?
Thank you very much. I wrote even on my profile that I'm inspired by curiosity. So there's certain things that cannot make sense, right? Where from even your point of view, you can feel like there is something wrong. So I'm always a person who try to fix problems. And the information that I kind of know, like I didn't even finish high school. I'm not employed currently. That's why I'm into these PFPs. I even spoke to Alberto once, telling him how in 2009 I even had Bitcoin in 2009. Yet right now I'm still living in a ghetto and all that. There's like stuff that happened when you do not have knowledge of what you're actually doing. But basically, I'm inspired by curiosity. I want to know the root of the root of the root of the root of the infinite root of the truth. I feel that those who are going to come after me, they I own like I owe them that, and I feel that those who came before me, they didn't do anything regarding that. Because for instance, if they should have kept knowledge for me, even as oral histories, as Africans we speak about the things that they were seeing, we should have had maybe better knowledge, knowing the truth as it's supposed to be. So now I scour the internet. I live in a one room kind of stuff, in a ghetto, as I was mentioning, just creating stuff. I'm a very creative person, learning knowledge. If I find knowledge, I'll go down deep with it to the deepest rabbit hole. So that's why I kind of know the information. I kind of look at the root of the root. Why is this and that? I always ask the question why.
That's amazing. It's great to meet a fellow truth seeker and someone who's trying to not just learn the news, but understand the mechanisms that affect the news.
Thank you very much. Like I can go deep down in some rabbit holes, but um, for another time, definitely we always have more conversations. So the reason why that's the reason why I was trying to actually mention how I believe we are being made to fight one another so that we can be controlled ultimately. Whether you white, green, black, yellow, whatsoever color, whether you pray to a tree or a rat or a cockroach, whether you pray to all these things. So I tried like to go to the roots to say when did all these things start, and where did they start, and how and why, and who started them, for what reasons, and how they implemented everything. So that's why I was even mentioning like to try access even the real archives of your guys' governments, and all those kind of stuff. So basically, yesterday, like I actually slept 4 a.m. My side, like that kind of stuff, and woke up 7 because we're discussing regarding that as Africans, like who are we? What should we do? So certain things, if you actually need to know the truth about even yourself, like in the African perspective, we actually need to know the truth about what was happening, for instance, in England when ships, or when Columbus was being made a corporate, being given everything. Like we need to know why, how, and everything was happening so that we can know who we are today, because history has been distorted. Not that it's